This is the KH940 knit along, day 1. Today we will start the knit along. We're going to knit a sweater. I am using 4 different colors, only 2 at a time. I am going to start with making my tension swatch. In order to make my tension swatch correctly, I will need to load my pattern. I am not sure what pattern you would like to use, but the one I am using is available upon request. This sweater is still going to be Halloween themed, even though Christmas is closer than Halloween will be again. I am going to use my 8-pin connection in order to upload a pattern that I created in DAC. If you don't have DAC but have image to track, I have that pattern as well. I've already made it for you if you wish. If you wish to do this on a punch card machine, I have the punch card graphic also available for you if that is the direction you wish to go. So, without wasting any more time, I'm going to upload the Halloween themed punch card into my machine, and then we will do a tension swatch, and I will show you how to read the tension swatch and put it into our pattern so that we can have step-by-step instructions available for everybody. Let's get going on this. How do I transfer this stitch pattern onto my 940? Let's transfer. Download to knitting machine. It is a 940. Hang on. Pressing OK. More files. Okay. Keep losing my mouse here. Okay. I want to take diamond cowl out and cut. Okay, so Mimo. Press OK. Press OK. Set up. Find link. Start search. Okay. Okay. Download. Turn knitting machine on. CE 551. Step 1 step. It is now downloading. Takes a few minutes. It says it is complete and good to go. I'm going to close my program for now. Disconnect my USB. And now we're going to check the pattern. So we will use, I believe, the check pattern. Let's see what we've got. So how do we know what we have? Well, let's push the check button. Pattern 901. Sure. Hang on. Pattern 901. press the step key. It says there are 20 stitches in this pattern. It is true, there are 20 stitches. There are 60 rows in this pattern. That is true, there are 60. For row 1, this is what row 1 looks like. There's 2, skips 1, 2, skips 2, 3. And looks pretty good to me. So I will press the check button. I will put my carriage into KC1 when I am ready to go. And then we will knit this punch card. So now you're going to ask yourself, what is she doing? What happened to those colors she was using? I'm not wasting my good yarn to make a tension swatch. I have 14 balls of loops and threads available to use. So I'm going to use gray as my black, blue as my white, and this other blue as my orange. It will be one colorful punch card. Tension swatch. And it will still give me the proper tension swatch readings for the yarn I am actually going to use in the colors I'm actually going to use. I'm now going to set up 35 left, 35 right, and I'm going to start knitting this tension swatch. Out comes my pencil. I am doing loops and threads. Wool like. Today's date is November 1st. I'm going to use tension 7. My colors are going to be black, white, green, and pumpkin. Okay? And I'll come back when I'm closer to starting. And I'm starting with a double E wrap. Then I will put on my cast on comb, knit a couple rows, and then I will initiate the pattern. And we will go through the motions of making a tension swatch and watching what happens to this pattern as we knit. Normally you see me knit onto the cast on comb. This time I am putting the cast on comb on after. It's a little tricky. You got to talk to it nice. All right. Claw weight in the middle. Pull down. Now, why did I do a double E wrap? Because I want to keep this tension swatch. I need it to wash and dry, just like the sweater will be washed and dried. So I want it to stay together. And the double E wrap, I know for a fact, will stay together. I haven't changed my tension at all. I'm not caught on anything. Everything looks good. I'm now going to go to the left side and start the pattern. Oh, something happened here. Okay, it is saved. Back into normal knitting. I'm going to knit 2 more rows just for spite. looks like we'll be okay. All right, going into KC1. It's all over knitting. Pattern is ready. Resetting my row counter to 000. I'm now going to knit to the right and start my patterning. So this should be the word boo. Let's see if we have the word boo, and will it be backwards or will it be the right direction? Going to MC, moving that forward a little bit. We are going to knit until the knitting machine goes all the way forward or all the way back with the needles. Okay, so at this point, we need to make notes. So, row 8, all forward. This means it wants to knit in dark blue. All right, so if we knit across now, we will have a solid line. And let's see what happens. Correct. Now, this gray, right? We need to cut. We need to hang a clip. Is this supposed to happen? Absolutely. This is another point at which you would make a deviation. I'm not sure what the word is, but this punch card was designed to have the break in between where you cut and you restart for making a yoke sweater or any kind of small increments. So I think that's the right word. This is now a checkerboard pattern. All right, now they are all back. We want to, I know this is really going to hurt your feelings, put in a contrast color for 2 rows. Now, we should contrast out the gray with another lovely color called light blue. We are going to knit with light blue and dark blue for 2 rows. So reset your row counter. And you're going to knit the light blue for 2 rows, and then you will switch it back to the gray. Okay, switching back to gray. All right, we are switched back to light gray or medium gray. Row count back to 0, 0, 0. We will now knit 30 rows, watching what happens. We now appear to have 3 ghosts in a row and the word boo. We also have a long strand here, which we will cut and move forward with it. Everything is back, which means we will be knitting with just the gray. So we can push those back. We will cut the blue yarn safely. Do not take it out of MC. Just cut the blue yarn. Put a clip on it. And knit across. You will now reintroduce your blue yarn and you will continue knitting. Welcome to row 30. At row 30, we need to place some yarn markers. So I have cut some nice light blue. I am tying them in a knot, and I'm going to place them at 21 and 21, left and right. And then I will continue knitting. So 21 and 21. Now I did forget to write down where the pumpkin starts, so I will sift through my pattern and I will mark where the pumpkin actually starts on my punch card so that I can mark on my pattern where I need to change my yarns. Now I also see that I lost my edge here, so I put it back on, and I'm now going to knit across. I will now knit another 30 rows. I'm not going to turn off the punch card. I'm going to let it keep going. We are now at row 60. We will swap out the light gray again. For that light blue. Okay, so we have 2 rows of blue. We'll continue in part 2.